Good evening, family. Welcome to today's episode of Wednesdays with Pastor K. I'm so excited to be your host once again today, and thank you so much for tuning in. I am looking forward to spending time with you, and happy Wednesday to you. And please remember to like the feed, comment, share, and let's get our world into this room. So if you have not yet shared the feed, please share it so that everyone that follows you will come into this room and to also feed from what we'll be discussing today. So yeah, good to see you. And continuing from where we left off last week, we started on the subject titled The Importance of Having a Vision. And we will call last week's one a part one. And today we are proceeding from where we left off, and we'll start with part two. But before I do that, I want us to quickly recap on what we discussed last week, so that if you missed last week, at least you have an idea of what we have discussed last week. And before I do that, before I go on to last week's recap, I want to quickly welcome people that are watching right now, and just want to see who's here. I see Mukhadi Ayanda is watching. Welcome, my dear daughter. Good to see you. And we have Khomotso KG watching. Welcome, my dear daughter. It's so good to have you here. And I have my son Tami Mukwanas watching on YouTube. Welcome, Tami. Good to see you. And also I have my daughter Lirato Mashazi watching on YouTube. Welcome, daughter. Good to see you. And we have my son Mfiso Sisanda Galela watching on YouTube. Welcome, son. Good to see you. So yeah, so good to have you guys, and let us have a blast today. So I'm quickly going to recap on last week, and then we're gonna shoot straight into what God has for us today. I'm just gonna allow the comments to be on the screen, and so that we see how many people are very active in commenting and interacting with us, and we'll take it from there. And also for us to be able to see who wants who has a question and which question do we need to answer. Awesome. I just lost my thought right there. So yeah, last week we spoke about the importance of having a vision, and we said that having a vision gives meaning to your life. We said it gives meaning to your life. You know, there's nothing that is fulfilling as having a vision in life. We said that it gives meaning to life, meaning that without vision, our lives have no meaning. Our lives have no meaning. I'm just going to quickly remove, so that we see the comments there. Yeah, greetings, KK. Good to see you. So good to have you here. Awesome stuff. Let me try and do this. Awesome. Looks much better here. Yeah. So yeah, and we said that vision is the act of seeing into the future and moving towards what you see. It is an act of seeing into the future and also moving toward that which you see. And we said also that it is not the current reality, but it can be achieved. So your vision is not your current reality, but it can be achieved. It can be achieved. And also we said that vision creates the bigger picture of how you want to live. It creates a bigger picture of how you want to live and what you want to accomplish and how you want to accomplish it. So it is very important to have a vision, because it reveals to us how you want to live your life and how you want to accomplish that which you have as a vision, and also how you want to accomplish that very vision. So it is very important that what's going on with my screen today? I just want to quickly fix a few things here. Please bear with me. Awesome. Okay, let me do this because it looks like this overlay is somehow giving me a challenge here. Okay, almost there, almost there, almost there, almost there. Almost there. Okay. There it is. Awesome. We are good to go. We are good to go. Sorry about that. And let's proceed. Let's shoot. So, we also said that you must have a vision for all areas of your life. And that's what we discussed last week. We said you must have a vision for your health and your body. You need to have a vision for your health and your body. You must remember, for as long as you are here on earth, you must fulfill the purpose that God has sent you to fulfill here on earth. And if you don't have a vision for your health and for your body, you can have a personal vision of where you want to go, where you want to be in life, But if you don't have a vision for your health and for your body, we said that you're wasting time, because you will get to a place where your body cannot even carry you, because you did not have a vision for your body and you did not look after your body or yourself. So if you don't take care of that part of your life, you will die before your time. And you must remember, your spirit can only be in your body for as long as your body can carry your spirit. But if you get to a point where your body has deteriorated in such a way that, you know what, it cannot even carry your spirit anymore, then your spirit has no choice but to vacate your body. So you must have a vision for your health and for your body. Secondly, we said you need to have a vision for intimate relationships. You must plan your life. What kind of a person do you want to get married to one day? And it can be your husband, your wife, whichever person that you would want to be with in the future. You must have a plan. You must have a vision for that. You must have a vision for that. And you must also have a vision that, okay, I need to be married by this age, and I need to have a vision for my family once I get married. I'm gonna have so many kids, and I want to stay in a certain area and all those things. That has to do with your vision for your life, your family, your intimate relationships. And you need to have a vision for friendships. You need to have a vision for friendships. We don't just become friends with everybody, but we must have a vision for friendships. We must have a vision for relationships. We must be intentional when it comes to our lives. We must be intentional. We must be intentional. And also, we said that you need to have a vision for your family, the kind of family that you want. I think I've already touched on that one. And you need to have a vision for your home. You need to have a vision for your home, um, how you want to raise your children, and how you want to lead your life as a leader of your home, or probably maybe if you are a woman, as a wife to your husband and a mother to your kids. How do you want your life to pan out? You must have a vision. And also, we said that you need to have a vision for your business. You must have a vision for your business. For those who want to go into business, for those who are already in business, you must have a vision for that. Businesses have vision, mission, values. Those are the things that put together the plan, and make sure that that plan comes to pass. So you must have a vision for your business. It will drive your strategy for marketing if you are in business, and it will help you hire the right people for your team. If you want to go into business, having a vision will help you hire the right people for your team. And also, you must have a vision for your career. You must have a vision for your career, and you must also have a vision for your earthly assignment. You must have a vision for your earthly assignment. This is how you're going to serve the world. So you must have a vision for your assignment. The moment you discover why you're here on earth, you must have a vision on how you're going to fulfill that why. on how you're going to fulfill that why. And we went deeper into discussing. Actually, we started with the principles of vision, and we started with number one last week as well. And we said number one says knowing your vision will cause God to speak to you directly. Knowing your vision will cause God to speak to you directly, meaning that God will fuel that vision within you. The moment He knows that you have discovered this vision, therefore God will begin to speak to you. Will begin to speak to you because He knows that now you know why you are here, and He'll speak to you on what you ought to do next, and He'll keep on talking to you every step of the way to guide you into the way you should go. And we made a perfect example last week of a man called Moses in the Bible. And we said that God spoke to him face to face. We know in the book of Numbers, chapter 12 and verse 8, God says, I speak with Moses face to face, even plainly, meaning that, you know what, Moses does not get to a stage where he feels like, could it be God speaking or am I imagining things? No, God says when He spoke to Moses, He spoke plainly with Moses and not in dark sayings. And He said also that Moses sees the form of the Lord. He says Moses sees the form of the Lord. He said, I speak with him face to face, meaning that Moses was a visionary and Moses understood what God wanted him to do. Moses received a vision that God gave him, and Moses had a plan to get there. So because of that, God spoke to him face to face. We discussed that last week, and we said that if you are not going anywhere in life, you are not even interested, or why would you want God to talk with you? All right, let's put it nicely. If you are not going anywhere in life and you are not even interested in finding out why would God want to talk with you? That's what we said last week. And we said that a life without vision only brings sorrow and misery in the end. A life without vision only brings sorrow and misery in the end. So it's important that you have a vision. It's important that you will have a vision. Very important. Very important. And also, Proverbs 29 and 18 says, where there is no vision, the people perish. But he that keeps the law, happy is he. So if you don't have a vision, you will perish. Where there's no vision, the Bible says people perish. So many people are destroyed because they do not have vision. But the moment you discover your vision, then you will know that you have a purpose, and definitely you will not perish. Definitely you will not perish. And so we dealt with number one last week. Today I want us to proceed with the principles of vision. And I want us, before we talk about number two, I want us to also make people understand what vision is. And I want to read from the Merriam-Webster dictionary. It says, vision is defined as the act of power of imagination. The act of power of imagination. That's how Merriam-Webster dictionary defines it. The act of power of imagination. So you must imagine where you want to go in life. You must imagine it. You must imagine it. That's where your power of imagination kicks in. The moment you're starting to think of the future, the moment you're starting to see yourself in the future, your power of imagination kicks in. And vision serves as a guide and can be used to provide a sense of purpose. It will serve you as a guide, and it can be used to provide a sense of purpose. That's what vision will do. And a clear vision becomes the guiding philosophy of your life, and it is driven by your dream and passion. A clear vision becomes the guiding philosophy of your life, and it is driven by your dream and your passion. So the moment you discover your vision, it will be driven by your dream and your passion. So that dream that you have, it must always be alive. It must always be alive within you, and it will help also to activate your passion to get to that dream. So the clear vision becomes the guiding philosophy of your life, and it is driven by your dream and your passion. So today I want us to go delve deeper into the principles of vision, the principles of vision. And like I said last week, we said your vision is the compass that guides you to a life of meaning. It is the compass that guides you to a life of meaning. We need a life of meaning. We need a life of meaning. And it is our vision that guides us to a life of meaning. It is our vision that guides us to a life of meaning. We have to make sure that we are intentional when it comes to vision. You have to make sure that you do discover that vision for your life, so that you are energized to do greater works and to pursue that which you see with your eyes closed. You must always make sure that that vision is active and it flows within you and through you. So you must be very intentional when it comes to discovering your vision, and you must have it. You must have that vision, and that vision must be in motion. So a vision is a way to answer your own why of life. Your own why of life. Now, if somebody is saying, why are you here? If somebody's asking today, why are you on earth? Why are you here? You must be able to respond. And you can only respond to that question when you know what your vision is, when you clearly know why you are here. And your vision tells us where you're going. Your vision tells us where you're going. It is your own unique personal blueprint or a roadmap. It is your own unique personal blueprint or a roadmap. So your vision is your blueprint. If you have a vision and you understand your vision, that becomes your blueprint, meaning that when people see you, they can associate you with your vision. They can associate you with your vision, right? It is very important that you get to understand where you are in terms of your life, and your vision must guide you. Your vision must lead you to a place called destiny. There are certain aspects you have to work on in order to achieve your vision. There are certain aspects that you have to work on in order to achieve your vision. Number one, it's your values. Your values. You have to work on values. What are your values? Do you have values? Honesty, integrity. Do you have values? And secondly, you must have a vision. You must have a mission. You must have a mission. Your mission to get there. Yes, you've got a vision, but where are we going? Where are we going? You must have a mission on how you're going to get there. That's very important. That's very important that we understand how we're going to get there. And also number three, you must have the code of conduct. Code of conduct. So there must be a way, you must have a way on which you will conduct yourself, because without having code of conduct, you will live recklessly, and in a long run you will not fulfill that vision because you don't have the code of conduct. Now the code of conduct is the principles that you will apply in your life as you live and walk towards that vision. And number three, because number two we said your vision is the compass that guides you to a life of meaning. Number three, vision gives you direction. It helps you maintain focus. So now, if you don't have a vision right now, that means now your life has no direction. How can you live every single day not knowing where you're going? When you have a vision, that vision gives you direction. It gives you direction. Therefore, you know where you're going. But if you don't have a vision, that means you are living aimlessly. You are living aimlessly. Your life has no direction. But the moment you say, I have a vision for my life, this is the vision I have for my life, then from that moment going forward, you have direction. You know where you're going. You know why you're alive. You know why you're breathing, because you do have a vision of how to get to where you want to go. Right? So it is very important that you really get aligned with the vision that you have for your life. There are many people without direction in life. There are many people who are living aimlessly. Why? Because they don't have a vision. They just live for the sake of living. They face each day as it comes, but they don't have a plan. They don't have a plan. They just wake up every morning, they go to work, or they just wake up every morning, they watch TV, they just wake up every morning, they sit with friends. They don't have a vision for their lives. And the Bible says if you don't have a vision, you perish. Where there is no vision, the people perish. The people perish. So many people are reactive rather than proactive. Many people are reactive rather than proactive. Are you proactive or you are reactive? Now, a reactive person is a person that always reacts when something happens to them, but they really don't have a vision of where they are going. They just respond to tough seasons as they come. They respond to whatever happens to their lives, but they don't really have a purpose of what they've come here on earth to do and what their plan is for their life. So they are more reactive than proactive. And without vision, other people's priorities will control your life. Without vision, other people's priorities will control your life. Haven't you noticed people that, like for instance, if you're unemployed, then we have a lot of people that will probably, maybe your family members, who will take advantage of you being unemployed, and every week they'll have a plan for what you have to do for them. Like for instance, they will always say, I want you to go tomorrow to go do 1, 2, 3 for me. And then the next day they say, I want you to go and do 1, 2, 3 for me. Every single day they've got what they want you to do. Why? Because you don't have a plan for your life. So if you don't have a plan for your life, other people's priorities will control your life. But the moment you have a vision, no one can bother you, because they know this person is always busy. This person, is always focused on their vision. This person is always, or this person is a business person and they are always busy. They don't even bother you because you are always busy. You are living and working in your vision. But if you don't have a vision, then people will take advantage. People, their priorities, they will make sure that they give them to you for you to fulfill them for them, because you don't have a vision. And many people don't know why they are here. Many people don't know why they are here on earth. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yes, Sepan says, without a vision, any road is good for you. Absolutely, that's very true. And he says, is when you have a vision where you will have a clear direction of where you're going. Okay, I'm not sure if I understand your grammar there, Tsepam, but Dudu says, be intentional, discovering my vision. Yeah, powerful wisdom, man of God. Absolutely. Yeah, and also you must understand that there are people who don't know why they are here. Why are you here? It is very important for you to know, why am I on earth? Why did God have to bring me on earth? Why did I have to be born? That's a big question. That question refers to your why. Why are you here? There are people who lived here on earth and they even died and went back to be with the Lord. They still did not know why they were here on earth. They just lived and faced each day as it came. And that's not the right way to live. That's not the right way that God wants us to live. We must be very intentional with our lives and walk in our vision that God has for our lives. And also, many people don't know what they are going to do tomorrow. And that's true. That's true. I just hope it's not you that is watching now. Many people don't even know what they're going to do tomorrow. And that's a challenge. It tells you that these people don't have a vision. It tells you that these people don't have a vision. And next year and in the next 5 years, they also don't know what they're going to do. Do you have plans for next year? Do you know what you're going to do next year? Do you have a plan for the next 5 years? If you don't have those plans, or you don't know what you're going to do in the times I'm mentioning now, then you don't have a vision. You don't have a vision. Now, for instance, I'm already planning my 2024 now. I'm already there. I'm already planning that. So you must be intentional. You must be very intentional. Ayanda says, in order to understand where we want ourselves to be in life, we must have a clear vision over our lives. Absolutely. Absolutely. Tabo says we cannot be conscious of ourselves and yet remain in bondage. Absolutely. People are bound because they are not making a move anyway. They are not making a move anyway. And it's got nothing to do with the enemy or the devil. People are bound because they don't have purpose. People are bound because they don't know why they are here. And if you don't know where you're going, then how can you move? You'll never move because you don't know where you're going. So vision gives you direction. Vision gives you purpose. Tsepan says the greatest tragedy in life is not death, but it is life without a purpose. Absolutely. That's a famous quote there, right there, Tsepan. And yeah, so if you've got a vision, then you'll know what you're going to do next year. And in the next 5 years, you've got a plan, of what you want to achieve in the next 5 years. And some people don't even know what they are going to do this week, next week. But having a vision adds focus to your life. That's very important. Having a vision adds focus to your life. It adds focus to your life. That's what having a vision does. It adds focus to your life. It's very important, very important. And when you have a clear vision for your life, decisions are much easier. When you have a clear vision for your life, decisions are much easier. It's difficult to make decisions if you don't have a vision for your life. It's difficult. People with vision, they can make decisions of what they're going to do for the next 2 months. They can make decisions of what they're going to do in the next 3 months because their vision is clear. They have a clear vision. They have a clear vision. Decisions are simply about identifying what aligns with your vision and values. So when I say it will be easy for you to make decisions in life when you know your vision, or when you have a vision, it's because it will be very easy for you to say no to certain things because you know that they are not aligned, or they are not in line with your vision. Many people who do not have a vision, if somebody shows up today, you are not even expecting that person. They come, they pay you a visit, and they say, you know what, let's just go to Springs. I want to go to Springs somewhere. Accompany me to Springs. And from Springs, I want us to go to Brakpan. And from Brakpan, I want us to go to Pretoria. You just say yes, 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 because you don't have a vision. So you just enjoy driving around with people and just moving around with people because you don't have a vision. But the moment you have a vision, it's easier for you to make decisions. When somebody just pops in and shows up at your doorstep and they say, you know what, can you please accompany me to Nelspruit and whatever? You say, no, I've got work to do. I've got work to do. I've got a vision to fulfill. I've got a purpose to fulfill. So people are all over the show because they don't really know why they are here. They don't have a plan on how to get to destiny. And that's why people, their lives are short-lived because other people's priorities are now starting to control their lives because they don't have their own priorities. They don't have their own vision. But having a vision is having a priority. So the moment you have vision, you have priorities in life. And nobody can just show up at your doorstep and say, you know what, let's go and do 1, 2, 3. You will either consult your diary. Your diary will tell you, no, you don't have time. There's this item that you have to deal with before today is over. Then you tell this person, I'm sorry, I can't help you as much as I would love to. It does not mean that you are a mean person. It does not mean that you don't enjoy company. You do, but you've got a vision to fulfill. You've got work to do. Do you get what I'm saying? Refuder says it is dangerous to stumble into the next day without a plan that will cause you to be incompetent and people will not take you seriously. Absolutely. I fully agree with that, Refuder. Welcome to my beautiful wife. She says she's late. She's just tuned in now. Welcome, my beautiful wife. Good to see you. And Mafana Ngosi says, I hear you, Dad. The greatest knowledge is knowledge of self. Absolutely. And great courage and discipline is to introduce you to the world that makes it hard to be you. Yeah, absolutely. So we've got to be intentional, people of God. And if you don't have something that draws you, how do I put this thing? I know it's on my status, my WhatsApp's status, but it's destiny or instinct drives you, but destiny draws you. Yes, that's right. Instinct draws you, but destiny drives you. Right? I put it vice versa. Instinct drives you, destiny draws you. I think you should put it in the comments so that I don't forget it. Yes. Yeah, but that's how it goes. So you must understand how to live this life, because the moment you've got destiny and you know your destiny begins to draw you. And it is instinct, you being inspired, that continue to drive you. You must be driven. You must be driven on a daily basis. You must be driven. You must be driven. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you, Dad. People get bored because of having no vision. Vision directs steps and spending. Absolutely. It directs your finances as well. And Tabo says, Apostle Paul says, we are doing this for a greater purpose. We are doing this for a greater purpose. That's very true, Tabo. So when you have a clear vision, you won't waste time, money, and energy on people or things that are not in alignment with your vision. You won't waste time. But many people waste time on money. They waste their money, they waste their time, and they waste money also on people or things that are not in alignment with their vision. Why? Because they don't know their vision. They don't know their vision. But the moment you understand your vision, every time money comes into your hands, you think about your vision. How far am I in terms of my vision? Where am I going in terms of the vision? So it is very important to understand your vision. Vision is a fundamental building block for everything you do. It is a fundamental building block for everything you do. If you cannot decipher your vision or the why for your life, then I'm telling you, you will not live a meaningful life. We only make impact, or we can only have impact for as soon as we know why we are here. That's when you will begin to make impact in this life. But allow me to say this, and you can write it in the comments as well. If you don't know why you are here, you have not started living. I'll say it again. If you do not know why you are breathing right now, you have not started living. We start living from the day we discover our earthly assignment. The very day you're going to discover your earthly assignment is the day you're going to start living. For as long as you have not discovered your earthly assignment, you haven't started living. Do you get what I'm saying? So, what am I saying to you? Let me put it this way. I was born in 1980. But from 1980 to the year 2011, I was just existing. I was just existing. I was not living. But from 2011 going upwards, that's when I began to live. That's when I discovered my purpose. So you start living when you discover your purpose. Before then, you're just existing. And Mr. Ngosi says, how do you help someone who says he does not know where to start? What is a starting point to have your vision? Very good question, Bafana. Very good question. And allow me to answer that in the end. I have a guideline for that. I have a guideline for that, and I will share it before I end this program. So, very good question. And I like it. And we're going to deal with it. We're going to deal with it. Thank you for asking that question. So, yes, people of God. So, that's where we are. That's where we are. We must be intentional when it comes to our vision, and we must pursue to know who we really are and why we are here. And by so doing, we will do great things. We will do greater works for God, and God will be so happy with us because by the time we leave this planet Earth, we would have fulfilled that which He has sent us to fulfill in this life. It is very important that we understand our vision. Okay, Ayanda says, not having a vision will make you accept the way people view you, even if it's the worst thing possible. Absolutely. Absolutely. I fully agree with you. Yeah, that's very true. That's very true, Tammy. Tammy is responding on YouTube and he says, vision dictates our priorities. Vision dictates our priorities. That's very true. That's very true. Only vision allows us to transform dreams of greatness into the reality of achievement through human action. Only vision. Only vision can transform dreams of greatness into reality. It can only be having a vision. Many of us can be dreaming of our tomorrow, can be dreaming of where we want to be tomorrow. But if we don't have a vision of how we want to get there, then that's a problem. That's a problem. Number 4, knowing your vision helps you on whether to continue with your current relationships, job, or business, or to let go of them. I'll repeat that. Knowing your vision helps you on whether to continue with your current relationships, job, or business, or to let go of them. This can be decided by you knowing your vision. When you know your vision, you can decide whether to continue with your current relationships. What relationships do you find yourself in? Are the relationships in line with the vision that you have for your life? Do those relationships benefit you? Do those relationships help in building the blocks in getting to that vision? Or the relationships that you have surrounded yourself with are just a waste of time and they are not in alignment with your vision? So when you know your vision, it will help you whether to continue or not to continue with certain relationships. Knowing your vision can help you decide, I'm going to continue doing the job that I'm doing currently, or I'm not going to do it. Why did I quit my job years ago in 2009? Why did I quit my job? Because I had a vision for my life. I had a vision for my life. That's why I quit my job. But not knowing your vision will make you not to be decisive, and you will remain for that. You will remain in that company. You will work for that company until you die, because you don't know your vision. You don't have your own vision. Therefore, you are serving somebody else's vision for the rest of your life. There's nothing wrong with serving somebody's vision. But in the long run, you must discover your own vision so that you are able to go and run with your vision. We all have to start from, we all have to start somewhere, right? And knowing your vision helps you to whether continue with your business or to let it go. The business that you're currently doing, you may find that the business that you're doing, it's in conflict with the vision that God has for your life. Like, for instance, I was running a pub, I was running a recruitment company, but God has called me to preach the gospel. Those are two different things. So I had to make sure that I surrender to what God wants for my life in order for me to continue living on this earth and to live a life of purpose. Because you must remember, if I continued in that very business, that business, number one, was in conflict with the plan of God for my life. As a pub owner, I made money out of making people drink. But as a man of God, I give blessings by preaching the gospel. Do you get what I'm saying? For a lack of a better way of putting it. But it is totally different things. It is totally different things. So you can understand that if I held on to a pub or to run in that pub, then I could not do what I do today. So knowing your vision helps you on whether to continue with your current relationship, current job, or business, or to let them go. It is only by knowing your vision. People without vision say yes to everything. Can I repeat that? People without vision, they say yes to everything. Why? Because they don't have their own vision. Therefore, they say yes to everything. You must know your vision. You must know your vision. You must know your vision. Just want to check the few questions here and see if I can answer them. I see Jared is online. Welcome, Jared. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Blessings to you and the family. And Lirato Mashazi says, it's all about having a vision. She's watching on YouTube. And she says, you never know how far you can go without trying. Absolutely. I like that. And Tammy says, is also watching on YouTube. Tammy says, Dad, what is the difference between a person's career and earthly assignment in terms of fulfillment? Can they really coexist, or one will always overpower the other? There's a difference between your job and your work. Your job and your work. Your job is what you are employed to do by somebody else. That's your job. They have employed you and they've given you the specifications of what you have to do for them on a daily basis. That's your job. But your work is what God has sent you to do here on earth. That's your work. That's your work. So let me see if I've answered your question. Your question was, Dad, what is the difference between a person's career and earthly assignment in terms of fulfillment? Can they really coexist, or one will always overpower the other? You must remember, when you do your when you are, let's say your career, yes, your career, Tammy, if it's not what God sent you here to do, if it's your career, you will realize that every time you do it, you are fulfilling your boss's plan for your life for as long as you work for them. But your earthly assignment, you have to answer to God for it. And it makes you content. And your earthly assignment as well fulfills you. It fulfills you. So Really, no, they cannot really coexist. I mean, um, I was working for British American Tobacco. I worked for them for 5 years, and in order for them to do what I'm called to do, I had to resign and move on and do something else. At the time, I've always thought that I'm a businessman. I was called to be a businessman. That was before I discovered my calling, the call of God upon my life. But you'd realize that there's certain you cannot juggle very two important things at the same time. Uh, one of them is gonna suffer. One of them is gonna suffer. So what are you gonna do if you want to pay attention to your business or your earthly assignment, but your boss wants you to work more hours and he pays you for that? What's gonna suffer? Your assignment is gonna suffer. So that's what I'm saying. And Sipom Shungu says, good evening, Pastor. How do you remain with a purposeful life? And how do we remove generational burdens while being patient within current economic conditions? Wow, that's a very interesting question, Mhlungu. You know what, Mhlungu, removing generational burdens can number one, you must identify your earthly assignment, because you know what, I've gotten to a better place when it comes to anything that happens in my family, and that has happened in my bloodline as well. The moment I discovered who I am, the moment you discover your earthly assignment, automatically you become free from those generational burdens, because you're gonna focus on that which God has called you to do. And once you focus on that, number two, you must make sure that you are planted in a spiritual church. You are planted in a spiritual church so that it is able to disconnect you from certain things that are keeping you bound. I hope I'm making myself clear. But more than that, you must know your purpose. The moment you know that, I'm telling you, not even an economic situation can stop you. Not even an economic situation can stop you. Not even COVID could stop the purpose that God has for my life. That is why when COVID hit, we migrated from um, physical attendances and we moved to online attendances. Immediately, instantly, there was no break in between. We shifted instantly from physical to digital. Why? Because the purpose never dies. Purpose can never be suspended. Purpose is always in motion. Therefore, nothing could deter us because we are walking in purpose. There are many people, I don't understand, probably people have their own reasons, but I don't understand people who say their churches shut down during COVID and they never ever reopened. That's why I'm saying uh, uh, people have their own reasons, but nothing could shut our church down, because shutting that church down was shutting my purpose. God cannot allow something that has power to shut your purpose down to happen in your life. He will never. So that is why I say people have their own reasons, but I still don't understand how you can say to me that your church died during COVID and that's when it ended and you're no longer in ministry. For me, were you working in your purpose, number one? That's what I'm asking, because now you've allowed this demon called COVID to shut down God's purpose for your life. There is no way. Every vision, every business with a vision would withstand every storm that comes its way. I hope I've answered you, Mr. Mhlungu. And Kalipile says, I'm glad I caught this segment. I always miss it for some odd or unknown reason. Good to have you, Kalipile. And Tabo says, I have noticed that every visionary respects time because it is all about progress. They profusely shun careless wasters of their time. Absolutely. They don't have time. These people don't have time to waste. And Tsepan says, Dad, I've learned that there are people who come in your life for a season, a reason, and a lesson. So I want to ask, how will you know when someone came for a reason in your life? Sure. You must ask yourself, Tsepan, what am I learning from this relationship? If maybe that person is your friend, you must ask yourself, what am I learning from this relationship? And are you able to withdraw from that relationship? And or are you only depositing to the person you are in a relationship with? It can be a friend, can be an acquaintance, can be somebody you met 2 months ago. But you must understand, you must be able to answer these questions. What can you withdraw from that relationship? Is there an investment in that relationship? So that's how you are able to determine whether this person is there for a reason or you're just acquaintances. So there are people are carriers of things, destinies, carriers of ideas and all that. But you must be able to understand from time to time when people come into your life. Don't just hang around with everybody, but you must be able to identify what connects you with this person, and is it taking you to destiny? You must check their desires, are they in alignment with where you're going? The things they like, are they in alignment with where you're going? Like for example, I think I'll close with this one for you, Tsepang. Like for instance, there are people that I used to call friends when I still lived in the world. Those are the people that I used to hang around with almost every single day and every weekend. But I no longer hang around with those people today because they are not in alignment with what I do today. What they do is not in alignment with what I do today. So those people were only friends for a season. But there are people who had to come into my life for what I do now. I hope I've answered you. I think I was more clear now. Yeah, absolutely, Keke. Purpose never dies. It never dies. Lerato Mashazi says, Dad, how does a teen keep up with their vision with everything happening in the world today? The temptations and all other things that come with our generation. I think that teaching that I taught 2 weeks ago, Lerato, has all the answers for you. The power of focus. The power of focus. We all have temptations standing in our way. We all have obstacles in our way. We all have distractions in our ways. But what keeps us moving and what keeps us focused is holding on to the end goal. You must have a goal and you must hold on to that end goal. That's what will keep you moving. If you will not hold on to what you've seen before you've started, then I'm telling you, anything that comes your way will sidetrack you and you begin to fall from your vision. And thank you. So Khadebe says, Man of God, what an interesting subject matter. I personally had to resign from my job to pursue what I believe to be a burden and purpose. I went to a man of God for mentoring program as I felt a call of God. However, things are not lining up. As time moving, how do you help in such situations as there's frustration I'm going through? That's a very great question. Thank you so. But listen to me. Thank you so. We need to identify number one that you could be going through a process. If it is God that has called you, it does not automatically mean that because God called you, now things are just going to fall into place, and now you have a call of God, and now you're preaching the gospel and everything's going to fall into place. No, it doesn't work that way. When God calls you, he takes you through the process, and that process is not meant to destroy you, but that process is meant to build you up. Many of us, when we are going through challenges in life, it feels like the devil is attacking us. It feels like the devil, is trying to destroy us. No, you may find that that very storm that you are faced with has been orchestrated by God himself. And because things are not lining up, God is pushing you to a deeper relationship with him. God is pulling you in to spend more time with him. He wants you to spend more time with him, and it can only happen in the secret place. Once you spend a lot of time in the secret place with God, even in that storm, you'll realize that now the vision becomes clearer. Because, and I want to emphasize this, thank you, so because I had to go through the same thing. When the call of God came in my life, it came like a whirlwind. It turned everything upside down. It turned my marriage upside down. It turned my businesses upside down. Everything that used to work stopped working because God wanted my attention. But God was taking me through the fire, because everything that is great, even the diamonds, even the gold, has to go through refining. So God had to refine me. He had to refine me in order to produce that which people see today, in order to produce that which I am doing today. But I had to go through refining. I had to go through refining. And that refining is where you are today, where you are saying that I am frustrated. I am frustrated and things are not lining up. It's not that things are not lining up. Actually, what you've written there is what Job could attest to years ago, when Job lost everything and his children died, and his wife even came to him and said, you know what, why don't you let go of this integrity of yours, because things are not lining up. But Job held on to that very voice that he heard in the beginning when God called him, and he said, I know that my Redeemer liveth. And look at how Job ended. Before you know it, Job continued doing what he was called to do. Instead, he prayed for his friends. He prayed for his friends. And because of that, he kept on fulfilling the purpose that God gave him, and God gave him double for his trouble. So listen to me, my dear brother. Thank you, so. You need to identify if what you're going through is a process, or what you are going through is as a result of the enemy. You must be able to identify. But if you are going to church every single week, okay, this is how you need to identify. Do you belong to a church? Are you always in church? Are you serving in the church? Are you prayerful? Are you a worshiper? Do you serve God? Do you serve in the church? If you're doing all those things, then what you're going through is not from the enemy. It's a process. You're going through a process. But if you're outside of church and you are not a spiritual person, then what you are dealing with is the enemy. I think I've answered you. I think I've answered you. I think I've spent so much time on the questions. I did not even finish what I wanted to do today, but we'll proceed from where we left off. Next week, we'll continue with the subject. I just want to check more questions, and then we close. Awesome, awesome. I'm glad I've answered you, Tsepang. And let's see. Mr. Ngosi says, powerful. People of the past do not align with your vision and fight it. Some will align later as you keep on holding on to the vision. Absolutely. And when they come later now, they come now as fans. They are no longer friends. You must remember. A fan is somebody that follows you because of who you are. That's a fan. But a person that has helped you build from all these years, when you tend the tide, they tend with you. That person is a friend. But people that left you as you tend, then they are no longer your friends. When they come back later, they are now fans. They are not friends. Mfiso Galela on YouTube says, Dad, how do you get up and get to working when you are tired? That's a silly question. That's a silly question. Listen, purpose never gets tired. Purpose never gets tired. It never gets tired. That is why, even if I feel sleepy, when I feel like now, I feel like sleeping. When I open my computer and I start designing a few things and building content for our ministry, content for our businesses, I become alive. I become alive. What keeps me awake? Purpose. So if you're tired, then you don't know your purpose. If you get tired and you don't want to wake up, you don't know your purpose. Purpose never sleeps. That's what you need to know. So you've got a homework, Sisanda. And thank you. So bless you, man. I'm glad I was able to answer you. Thank you for tuning in. And I'm so excited you were with us today. And please do me a favor, just share the feed. Share the feed so that people that follow you also can also tune in, and they can also read, and actually not read, they can also listen to what we had to share today. I think I missed, Mtuduzim Gati says, talk about the whirlwind, man of God. No one is exempt from that when the call is upon you. I agree. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, Mtuduzi, that's how I got to write my book. And in my book, I share everything about that whirlwind. Everybody has to go through that, especially when you are called. You must go through the fire. That's how God refines his people. Excuse me. That's how God refines his tools, his instruments, his servants. God bless you. Thank you for tuning in. I want you to please invest in my book, The Call of God. And thank you. So I think you are the best candidate to get this book. Invest in this book. It will help you. It will guide you. It has all the tools that you need to actually maximize on the call of God and to fulfill it. I wrote everything I had to go through before I accepted the call of God in this book, and everything I suffered for the sake of the call. It's in this book. And everything that God used to bring me to where I am today, it's all encapsulated in this book. For a gift of only 200 Rand, invest in this book. If you want it, inbox me and we'll arrange on how you can get this book. You can also get it from our website, the House of Prayer ministries.co.za or www.blackiconic.co.za. Please invest in this book. It will bless you. It's a powerful book and it will take you to places. From me and Wednesdays with Pastor K, thank you so much for tuning in. Hoping to see you next week again, same place, same time. Remember to share the feed or tag somebody in the comments. God bless you.